TG Geeks, episode 411, January 2nd, 2023. A year in review. Hello, Harriet.
Hello, Harriet.
Welcome to another webcast from TGGeeks.com, where Ben and Keith, the Two Gay Geeks, talk about all aspects of Geek-dom and Nerd-ery.
This is getting silly.
There's nothing wrong with my mic. It's my voice.
This is getting silly.
I have laryngitis, so I can't hear you. So
that's a joke.
Yeah. Sci-fi, comics, film, horror, genre, you name it, we talk about it. I'm Keith Lane. We're coming to you from TG Squared Studios in lovely Phoenix, Arizona. Wow.
And I'm Ben Raggington, and my poor husband and I, we both caught a cold right as we were coming back from our Christmas vacation in Oklahoma.
Yeah, so all the cold weather and everything.
We're both a bit of a mess right now.
So let's just get on with the show, even though we're going to talk the whole show.
Prepare for hyperdrive.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Episodes, the Two Gay Geeks are discussing this.
Well, this is our year in review show. We are going to talk about some of the highlights of this podcast and the website, as well as everything else that we've done. Have our regular birthday shout-outs, our featured podcasts of the week. Got some feedback this week, our regular shout-outs. In the second segment, we have something I want to talk about, and then we have our wackly weekly recap.
Our wackly?
Wackly weekly, blah, blah, and our shout-outs. I apologize for my voice, but we're doing this Sunday afternoon so that we can get it done.
We just got back
we just rolled in yesterday. Last night.
Last night, yeah.
Yep, so let's get right down to it. Well, that used to be the birthday music, but I thought the little pop was a good tip for
champagne popping,
New
Year's Eve celebration,
popping, yeah, and all that kind of crap. Well, 2022 was a very interesting year for us. We had a lot of the podcasts it was just you and I talking, because a lot of people weren't doing anything, and
I wonder why.
It was just still in the midst of the COVID pandemic, but we did have quite a few guests that we'll talk about here in just a little bit. Hamish started a new thing for us in January, his First Friday playlist, which has been popular, as well as his regular new sushi and 5 questions with. So those,
I would guess, based on feedback that I've seen from that, well, Hamish, he's obviously very popular.
Very popular for us.
A lot of people are commenting on his, whether it's First Friday or if it's
new sushi
or 5 questions.
Exactly.
There are people that are responding to that. So
that's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
And we thank Hamish for doing that for several years now. It's just unbelievable. He just keeps turning it out, and we are so thankful that he does that for us. And Andrea had a lot of
work.
Oh my Lord!
She has been,
every week.
She's a machine.
She's a machine.
She's just a machine, and I'm so grateful because I will not go to movie screenings if they are public. I just won't do it because I'm really terrified. Even though we've been fully vaccinated, we're masked whenever we go out. The idea of being in a very crowded theater still very much it makes me nervous.
Yep.
So Andrea has picked up that ball. She's run with it, and I cannot be more grateful for that. And there are times that she's churned out as much as 3 reviews in the same week.
Exactly. I didn't count up how many she did for the last year, but it's well over 52.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Tommy Cannon continued with his Nerdy Chupacabra series for us, which is our Sunday Funny every week. You should check that out if you haven't checked that out. A couple of other things that we did that this year that we started watching The Witcher and were hooked from the very first episode.
Yeah.
So we watched season 1 and season 2, and then
now we're waiting for season 3, which
exactly.
apparently I think is finished.
And
they're
then
working on a post for that right now.
Exactly. And then we watched Severance. Oh my God, what an incredible series.
I
It
cannot
was just
wait for that to come back.
it was unbelievable. We
Oh,
had
there was also I wasn't Foundation last year too.
Yes, I believe it was.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
I
another
was-
one which is supposed to. There's supposed to be another season of that coming
Yep.
up. I can't imagine how they're going to do it, given the way they wrapped that up.
Wow, I know.
That 1 year.
We had a booth at Phoenix Fan Fusion, and that was really quite
That was a great
very
experience.
interesting experience.
I liked it.
Tommy was with us at the booth, and he was doing his, what was it, 3-minute or 5-minute monster challenge.
I want to say it was a 3-minute monster challenge.
Yeah,
but
so
I'm not
he
sure.
would draw a monster in 3 minutes based on the cards that people would choose
Mm-hmm.
from a deck. And at the Phoenix Fan Fusion, it was great because we didn't have anything. We weren't selling anything. We were just giving away our wristbands and keychains and business cards and saying hi to people.
Yeah,
and,
but I think
know-
it was all about the people that came up to our table, or at least just saw us.
yeah.
That's what really meant a great deal to me.
Yeah, and the young LGBTQ folk that walked by and kind of gave us the side eye, the
side eye.
knowing side eye of,
Yeah.
yay, there's somebody that, is like me, and even the adults too. So it was really great.
It was a magnificent experience, and I truly look forward to doing that again.
Yeah. We had lots of news from Katie Edwards this last
yeah.
year, and we talked to him on the podcast a couple of times.
And more
he-
stuff coming up in
more
the very
stuff coming
near
up,
future.
exactly. Montreal Girls from Patricia Chica was
Wow.
it premiered, and
That was her
just
feature-length debut.
exactly. It's a great film.
Fabulous movie.
We've gone to
Award
support
winner.
that. Yes, we've gone to support that at 2 or 3 different.
It was 2. We supported it at Cinequest in San Jose. That was the premiere.
and then
the LA International Film Festival.
Yep, that was great. And Al Sparrow and Michelle Snyder continued their puppet series. This got made, which
Yeah.
that is always great. It's
And
just
we got to interview Carlton Tetley at Phoenix Fan Fusion, which for me was a real treat.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then the big, I guess, one of the highlights of the year was you got to do a press junket.
First press
with,
junket ever.
Billy Eichner and Luke McFarlane from Bros.
Mm-hmm.
And
That was really a fascinating experience. I've talked a lot about it on the show already. I mean, so I don't know what else there is to say.
And you can see it on
yeah.
on YouTube. There's the press junket with Billy and Luke from Bros.
Or just go to tggeeks.com and in the search function, press junket.
Yep. One of the big highlights was we hit 400 episodes.
Yep.
400 episodes featuring some really interesting guests and some regulars that we had back, multiple occasions.
Oh, yeah.
We had Katie Edwards on, and at the same time, Josh Hurley, who is
I have been
Yeah.
working for that for over a year, trying to put that little stinker of an interview together. It finally happened. Josh is just he's a busy guy.
just too busy.
He's
He does
very,
the
very
voiceover
busy.
for all of the tarot
Yeah.
sequences.
And not just a tarot sequence, but a whole series of other novels. But to get them both on, and for him to actually do a sneak reading from the tarot, from the Hourglass Throne,
Yep.
was a real treat. And I remember just sitting back, here in the studio and just grinning like an idiot. I was so happy to hear that. That was such a memorable episode.
Yeah, and we talked to Katie about the Hourglass Throne and the upcoming Eidolon book that is about to be released any time now. In fact, they've released some of the advanced reading copies for review, and I think that's supposed to drop in January.
I'm not
this
sure.
this month sometime, I think.
I do know that my review will hopefully run shortly after the beginning of the new year. I'm waiting on some assets from Katie, who is waiting for them from, I think, his agent.
Yes. And Zachary Wheeler, we talked to
Yeah.
him. He had a new piece out, and we
got to see him
on our way through New Mexico. On the way out from Phoenix, we had dinner with him, and it was a
Very
great
nice night.
treat to
It was
just
great.
sit and catch up and have some dinner and just be able to talk to him. So we may be hearing more from Zachary Wheeler.
I really hope so.
Just to chat.
I hope so.
A real big thing was having Michael Chan on.
Yeah.
After he had made his appearance on Star Trek Discovery. Was it Discovery? Yeah.
It was Discovery. He
yes.
was the
How many Star Treks do we have going on right now?
He was the Starfleet headquarters communications officer. I think that was his title.
Yeah. And then he did a couple of bumpers for us. And really, Michael is such a nice guy.
Nice guy. I really like him.
Yeah. And he's a great actor. He's staying busy, so as well as doing his regular job. So that's a really kind of a neat thing. And we talked to E. Lauren Meeker. She was the stage director for Arizona Opera and the production of
Così fan tutte.
Così fan tutte. And what an incredible production that was. And she was just delightful to talk to. It was amazing. David Slayton we talked to. And about his the final book in the
Adam Binder series.
Adam Binder series. What a whirlwind that series was. He's already working on 3 different books right now. So
he just funny. I should mention he just posted on Twitter that he was working on a book, this latest book, and apparently he wrote something that made him cry.
Yeah,
and he kind of like. I don't know if he was questioning himself, but I said, that's gold. If your own work brings tears to your eyes, then you've struck gold. You're doing it right.
And when we were in Tulsa, of course, David lives in Colorado in Denver, and the Casa Bonita there, the guys from South Park, have taken over that.
Matt and Trey.
We had a Casa Bonita in Tulsa. And they're tearing it down right now. And we stopped by, and I took a couple of photos. And he said, "Oh, that's so sad." So, and we chatted back and forth. So
did he respond to the impending opening?
No, he didn't really say anything about that. But I did talk to him about, we'll probably want to talk to him here soon.
Oh, I'm sure
about the new stuff that he's got going. And we had a real treat that was just kind of out of the blue. Mark Biaggi, our good friend, who has done several of our bumpers for us, and you're listening to the Two Gay Geeks in various voices. He's a voiceover actor as well as a teacher, and he was on with Mason Thomas, and they were doing a Kickstarter program for the audiobook of crap. Out of my brain right now.
Yeah, mine too.
It was just, it was incredible talking to the both of them. And read.
I feel stupid that I can't remember the name of it now.
Oh, shoot. Oh, well. Sorry.
We're sorry.
I'm sorry.
We didn't write it down.
Yeah, but we did Lord Mouse. I read that book first.
Loved it.
Just right after the interview. And it was like,
Lord
oh
Mouse.
My God, it was incredible. And then we talked to Jeannie Koch, as usual,
always, for episode 400.
400, yes. And it was, as usual,
it's
always
Jeannie.
an incredible. It's Jeannie. She's always entertaining. And then we talked to Tricia from Winter Horror Fest about the work that they were doing with Mulligan's Manor.
Yeah.
And I just got a text from her this morning about a meeting that they're having here real soon to what is the next step for Mulligan's Manor and to raise more money for them, to see those LGBTQ at-risk youth that are about to age out of the foster system. What more can we do for them, and how can we provide more space for them and more things for them so that they feel safe and that they know that there's something after the foster system and that there's somebody that cares about them. So that's and then we had just a ton of us gabbing about, oh my God, everything under the sun. I told somebody the other day we could talk about this straw that was laying on the table for 20 minutes
and make it sound interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not all 20 minutes, but anyway. Anything else you want to add? I mean, that's a whirlwind.
It's a lot.
Year in review. My gosh, we had so many things, as always.
I'm sure I could find more, but given the conditions of our voices, I don't think I'd rather do that now.
So that kind of is it for this portion of the episode.
Yes.
This is Zachary Wheeler, science fiction novelist, author of Transient and the Max in the Multiverse series, and you are listening to the Two Gay Geeks.
I let that play for a little bit so I could recover my voice a little, since I'm going to have to be talking a lot here.
This is your segment.
And here's a few selected birthdays for January the 2nd through January the 8th, 2023. January 2nd, Isaac Asimov was an American writer, best known for his science fiction works. Asimov was regarded as one of the big three writers, along with Arthur C. Clarke and Robert A. Heinlein, the Holy Trinity, shall we say.
Yeah, that's it.
Asimov is credited with influencing most science fiction writers since the 50s. Nobel Prize winner Paul Krugman stated that one of Asimov's works inspired him to take up economics.
Interesting. I know we were talking a little bit earlier about the Foundation series.
Yes.
And how everything is now. I think I read somewhere else that Asimov, before he passed, he finally announced that pretty much everything he ever wrote is all part of the same universe.
Wow.
It's all. So I was like, okay, so let me take a look at Fantastic Voyage and see how that. I'll try and match it up with like iRobot.
Yeah, there you go. Barry M. Goldwater was a 5-term American Arizona senator. He represented the Republican Party in the 1964 presidential election, which he lost by a landslide margin to Lyndon B. Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
He impacted the conservative and libertarian movements. He was a skilled photographer and loved collecting Conchina dolls.
Oh, I didn't know about the last one.
The interesting that his tone changed a little bit towards the end of his life, and he began to be a little less conservative and more moderate and embracing of other, shall we say, LGBTQ folks, because I believe it was his grandson that was gay.
I think so.
And so people can change.
Yes.
January 3rd, Anna May Wong was an American actress and the first Chinese American to make it big in Hollywood. She is remembered as the first Chinese American to gain international recognition as an actress. Anna made history in 1951 when she appeared in The Gallery of Madame Li Song, becoming the first Asian American to be featured as the lead in a U.S. television show. She also is to be featured on one of the women's quarter series of coins, the first Asian American to be on U.S. currency. Also on January 3rd, J.R.R. Tolkien, considered one of the greatest authors. Tolkien is popularly called the father of modern fantasy literature. He is best known for his high fantasy classic works, The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, which is set in a conceived world called the Middle Earth. Called Middle Earth. I don't know why they put "the" in there. Many years after his death, Tolkien continues to be one of the best-selling writers. And then we have a Facebook friend of ours, Dean Auric. January 4th, Dave Foley, high school dropout. Dave Foley started his career with stand-up comedy after meeting Kevin McDonald. He formed the iconic sketch troupe The Kids in the Hall with him and others. He later appeared in such movies as The Wrong Guy and voiced for animated characters such as Flick from A Bug's Life, as well as many other Pixar film and voiceover roles. Matt Frewer, Max Headroom, is a Canadian-American singer, actor, and comedian. He rose to fame in the 1980s for playing the iconic character Max Headroom in the TV movie of the same name. Interested in acting from a young age, he received training at the Bristol Old Vic Theatre School before starting his career. He is regarded as a brilliant character actor. Then we have a friend of ours, Julia Camera. January 5th, Hayao Miyazaki, Considered one of the most prominent filmmakers in the history of animated films, Miyazaki is a Japanese animator and manga artist. A co-founder of Studio Ghibli, Miyazaki has gained worldwide acclaim as a maker of animated films and a masterful storyteller. Miyazaki has served as an inspiration to several world-renowned animators and directors, including James Cameron and Wes Anderson. George Reeves was an American actor best known for playing the iconic superhero Superman in the popular television series Adventures of Superman. A committed role model, George Reeves avoids smoking cigarettes around children and even eventually quit smoking. His death at the age of 45 was mourned by many and remains a controversial subject.
It was thought for the longest time that he committed suicide.
There's also
there's a bunch of
plots.
others. There's some other plots. I had the pleasure of seeing at a convention in San Francisco. The actor, he's passed now, but he played Inspector Henderson on The Adventures of Superman. And he knew George Reeves, and George was a good friend of his. And he said there is no way that George would have killed himself. It just was not in his makeup to do that. Yeah. See, he's convinced that there was something more nefarious that happened.
Yeah. Well, he was having an affair with a studio head, so that could be. We also have friends of ours, Canberra Potter and Lisa Penner. January 6th, Rowan Atkinson, British comedian and actor, has entertained audiences globally by his brilliant performance as the eponymous character in the Mr. Bean series and its film adaptations. Earlier, he established himself in a fine comedy actor with Blackadder.
Yeah, I loved Blackadder.
And then went on to the movies like Never Say Never Again, The Witches, and Four Weddings and a Funeral. And he was also in an episode of the hotel, Fawlty Towers. John Smith was an English explorer, soldier, colonial governor, author, and admiral of New England. In the early 17th century, Smith played a major role in the establishment and first indissoluble English settlement in America, which came to be known as the English colony at Jamestown. Apart from helping Jamestown survive various challenges, Smith's leadership also helped the colony flourish. We also have a friend of ours, Terry L. Smith.
Okay, well, I gotta take over because my poor husband is just dying here. January 7th, Nicolas Cage. Yes, the Nicolas Cage. Counted among the top movie stars in the late 1990s, actor Nicolas Cage continued to be a key figure in Hollywood. In a career spanning around 4 decades, he has appeared in a variety of mainstream films. The recipient of numerous awards, he has won an Academy Award and a Golden Globe, among others. He often donates to charities, and there was a movie about starring Nicolas Cage act as himself, and it was one of the funniest things we've seen in a long time. Just loved it. And moving on, Robert Sheehan, an Irish actor who is counted among the country's greatest actors. Robert Sheehan has received multiple Irish Film and Television Award and BAFTA Award nominations. Interested in performing from a young age, he studied film and television before beginning his career. He is known for questioning gender norms in the acting industry. And then we have our good friends, Hamish Downey, great friend and contributor to the TG Geeks Webcast, as well as good friend Millie Mahoney Delakia. I hope I pronounced that right.
Delaquila.
Okay, I'm sorry.
January 8th, Graham Chapman was an English comedian, actor, author, and writer. An important member of the popular comedy group Monty Python, Chapman was also a patron of the Dangerous Sports Club. An openly gay comedian, Chapman supported gay rights throughout his life. In September 2012, a blue plaque was unveiled at the Angel Pub in North London to commemorate Graham Chapman. William Hartnell, an English actor, he is best remembered for his portrayal as the first incarnation of the Doctor in Doctor Who from 1963 to 1966. In film, Hartnell notably appeared in Brighton Rock, The Mouse That Roared, and This Sporting Life. He was associated with military roles, playing Company Sergeant Major Percy Bullymore, in the ITV sitcom The Army Game, and Sergeant Grimshaw, the title character, in the first Carry On film, Carry On Sergeant. And that's it for the birthdays this time.
Technorama, the podcast for geeks, because geeks are better than cool. You don't hear someone say, "Get away from me, you cool person." Who's gonna have their 65-inch home theater system installed by the Cool Squad? Not me, that's for sure. How much cool cred do you have? Not enough to care about. Think you'll find any canned unicorn meat at thinkcool.com? It's just a part domain name. They don't even have roadkill in a paper cup. That's why you need to start listening to Technorama, because that's what geeks do. Go to chuckchat.com and listen to Technorama before you turn cool.
Go give a listen to our friends Chuck and Craig over at Technorama Podcast. It's only getting worse.
Yeah. I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I believe that reaching out for help is the bravest thing a person can do. If you are struggling and need support, call the Trevor Lifeline at 1-866-488-7386. It's free and confidential, and trained counselors are there to listen 24/7 without judgment. To learn more about the Trevor Project's life-saving work for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or questioning young people, go to thetrevorproject.org.
Well, it is now time for our feedback. These are comments that we received in response to articles and episodes that we ran on our website at tggeeks.com, and the links for each of these will be in the show notes for this episode number 411 at tggeeks.com. I feel like I'm for an episode of NPR.
Yes.
I feel like I'm on an NPR show right now.
Hello, Harriet.
Yeah, hello, Harriet. Oh, God, we need to explain that joke someday.
Go look up Jack Plotnick.
Jack Plotnick on YouTube, and you'll know what we're talking about. Anyway, regarding TG Geeks, episode number 404 from Barbara Dillon. She says, thank you so much for the very kind shout-out and for all your continued support. I think we gave a big shout-out to Fanbase Press in that episode.
Yeah.
I also got a comment from Patricia Chica saying, listening to the new podcast episode by TG Geeks and, movie hearts praise. Sorry.
There you go.
Oh, boy. Gave myself a head rush there. Moving on regarding Hamish Downey's 5 questions with Holly Soriano. Got a comment from Hamish saying she has such an interesting story to tell. And Holly responded with, wow, I'm on a podcast today and feature on Hamish Downey's site. Talk about fancy. I truly love it. Hamish responded with, thank you for sharing. FYI, it's my column on Ben and Keith's, a.k.a. the Two Gay Geeks website. Big smiley face. And then regarding Hamish Downey's 5 questions with Michael Lamberti, got a comment from Michael Lamberti saying, it was awesome to share this with you. I can't wait to share more updates on the project. Once again, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. I can't wait to take you guys to the world of Kingdom City. And that's the project that Michael is working on. And we got a response from Hamish who says, always happy to get updates. And that is our feedback.
If you want to leave a comment on anything that we publish, whether it be our articles or our episodes, you can do that on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube for the episodes, or anything on tggeeks.com. You could receive a shout-out in a future episode. We also have a listener feedback line. We want to hear from you, our listeners. You are important to us. If you want to leave a message, you can. We'll play that on air. Call it 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357. And as always, please play nice.
For more than 2 decades, Judy and Dennis Shepard have honored their son Matt by working to erase hate around the world. The Matthew Shepard Foundation honors his legacy by inspiring the good work of activists, teachers, artists, and legislators, and everyday LGBTQ+ folks and their allies. Join us today in helping to erase hate. Visit MatthewShepard.org.
Thank you to Comcast and NBC Universal for that promo. Well, everybody knows we're huge supporters of independent creators, filmmakers, comic book artists, writers, or others. Please go to their websites, their Etsy pages, their Facebook pages, chat with them, be ready to chat other people up about them, buy their stuff. Please consider supporting independent creators. And I'm just about done with this episode.
No kidding.
If you are trans or are questioning your gender identity, and if you are in crisis or are feeling isolated and need someone to talk to, or you know of someone in a similar situation, there is a special hotline just for you. The hotline is provided by translifeline.org and staffed by trained counselors who are transgender themselves. The hotline in the U.S. is 877-565-8860. In Canada, it is 877-330-6366. Or you can go to translifeline.org to learn about the important work they are doing. Please reach out for help. You are not alone.
Yeah, baby. They're like two gay geeks. They're together, you know. They're two gay guys and they're geeks. Is that okay?
First off, I want to say, who was that guy with the great voice doing the Trans Lifeline ad?
Exactly. Our second segment here, we just finished watching.
We have to talk about this.
The season finale for We're Here. And oh my Lord, it was a two-parter. They just continue to up the ante every episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 3 seasons. It's just boom, 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 boom. They hit it out of the park every single time.
Yeah, the first episode was just about trying to get people to be brave to put on drag. Yeah, and then the second season was about people overcoming their own personal adversity. And then this season, I think, has really been about pushing back against a lot of social adversity. Yeah. And this one really dealt with Florida and even touched on the Pulse nightclub shooting. Yeah. And it was really powerful and brought tears to my eyes. It was so gorgeous.
I think we need to contact Stephen and Johnny and get them back on the show.
We need to talk to them again. We have to. So this is going to be a short episode because neither of us have the voice to go on much longer. Anyway, this is our weekly review. These are items that we ran on our website this past week at tggeeks.com, and the links for each of these will be in the show notes for this episode 411 at tggeeks.com, starting with Sunday, December 25th, Christmas Day, Nerdy Chupacabras number 132. On Monday the 26th, TG Geeks episode number 410. On Tuesday the 27th, Ben's Holiday Breakdown, A Tale of Two Christmas Carols.
On Wednesday the 28th,
thank you.
Keith's Holiday Corner, Rudolph triumphs over the bigots and bullies of Christmastown. December the 29th, Disneyland Main Street Christmas Loop, a nostalgic look by our good friend Al.
Al Lutz.
Al Lutz, or Al Weho as he used to be called. On the 30th, Hamish Downey's News Sushi 139, morsels of news from Japan and beyond. And then on the 31st, Keith's Holiday Corner, Invaders by Jason Kupfer, a holiday horror short. That was one that we saw at...
was that Horrible Imaginings?
Horrible Imaginings,
Horrible
a number of years ago, and just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And you can find all these things at tggeeks.com.
For the sake of my voice, I'm going to really abbreviate this. We have 3 shout-outs. First, Brian Weber, our good friend Arkle. Look him up on Twitter. He's awesome. Geek of all trades. Geek is spelled, it's the letter G, the number 3, the letter K of all trades. And go to his YouTube channel, YouTube. Facebook.com/Argle Studios.
And he also has, he sent me a link for his list challenge of all the movies you watched for the first time in 2022. We'll have that link there, too.
Very good. Then have to give some shout-outs to 2 Facebook groups for allowing us to share our content there. Gay Geeks After Hours. Their URL is facebook.com/Gay Geeks After Hours. And then to The Gay Geek. And their URL is facebook.com/group/The Gay Geek. And special thanks to their moderator, Jeremiah Reeves.
Thank you, Jeremiah. Other places we can be found are Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Amazon Podcasts, as well as where other fine podcasts can be found. Also, check us out on Sci-Fi Radio at 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on Tuesdays, and listen to their other content. They're a 24-hour geeky internet radio station. Please rate us and review us on iTunes, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that should do it for this episode of TG Geeks Webcast. Be sure to check out the article for this webcast episode. We'll have several links on the page. And remember, you can comment on our Facebook page or our website, tggeeks.com. You can call us and leave us a voicemail at 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357 from TG Squared Studios. I'm Keith Lane. Thanks for listening. We encourage you to live and be your authentic self, and you may find the happiness that you deserve. Please be kind to yourself and those around you. Stay safe, wear a mask, get vaccinated. Peace.
Hello, Harriet.
Goodbye, Harriet.